1 infallible that never fails / always doing what it is supposed to do. 14. 2 misogynist person who dislikes women. 14. 3 philanthropist rich person who helps the poor and those in need, especially by giving money. 13. 4 misanthrope person who hates and avoids other people. 12. 5 bureaucracy system of government in which there are a large number of state officials who are not elected. 10. 6 cannibal person who eats human flesh. 10. 7 claustrophobia and extreme fear of being in small confined place. 10. 8 egoist person who thinks he or she is better than other people and who thinks and talks too much about himself / herself. 10. 9 elegy poem / song that expresses sadness, especially for somebody who has died. 10. 10 epilogue speech at the end of a play, book, or film / movie that comments on or acts as a conclusion to what has happened. 10. 11 epitaph and inscription on tombstone. 10. 12 fastidious being careful that every detail is correct / not liking things to be dirty / untidy. 10. 13 inevitable that you cannot avoid / prevent. 10. 14 oligarchy form of government in which only a small group of people hold all the power. 10. 15 optimist person who always expects good things to happen or things to be successful. 10. 16 panacea something that will solve all the problems of a particular situation. 10. 17 altruist someone who makes charitable donations intended to increase human well-being. 18 aristocracy the rule by nobles government by person of highest social order. 9. 19 atheist person who believes that God does not exist. 9. 20 calligraphy beautiful handwriting that you do with special pen / brush. 9. 21 connoisseur and expert on matters involving the judgmental beauty, quality or skill in art, food or music. 9. 22 fatalist person who believes that events are decided by fate and cannot be controlled. 9. 23 invincible too strong to be defeated / changed. 9. 24 mercenary soldier who will fight for any country / group that offers payment. 25 ascetic person who lives in a simple and strict way, without physical pleasures, especially for religious reasons, monks, hermits, saints. 8. 26 carnivorous animals that eat meat. 8. 27 cartography the art or process of drawing or making maps. 8. 28 etymology the study of the origin and history of words and their meanings. 29 homicide the crime of killing somebody deliberately. 8. 30 iconoclast person who criticizes popular beliefs / established customs and ideas. 8. 31 illegible difficult / impossible to read. 8. 32 incorrigible having bad habits which cannot be changed or improved. 8. 33 insomnia the condition of being unable to sleep. 8. 34 nepotism giving unfair advantages to your own family if you are in a position of power, especially by giving them jobs. 8. 35 obsolete no longer used because something new has been invented. 8. 36 patricide the crime of killing your father. 8. 37 philatelist person who collects or studies stamps. 8. 38 stoic person who is able to suffer pain / trouble without complaining / showing what they are feeling. 8. 39 alien hostile, strange and frightening / different from what you're used to. 40 amateur person who likes to take part in a sport / other activity for enjoyment, not as a job. 41 amnesia medical condition in which somebody partly / completely loses his memory. 42 anarchy situation in a country, an organization, etc., in which there is no government, order / control. 7. 43 anthropology the study of human race, especially of its origin, development, customs and beliefs. 7. 44 archives collection of historical documents / records of a government, a family, a place or an organization. 45 credible that can be believed or trusted. 7. 46 effeminate looking, behaving / sounding like women / a girl. 47 feminist person who supports the belief that women should have the same rights and opportunities as men. 7. 48 genocide the murder of whole race or a group of people. 49 gullible easily tricked because of being too trusting. 7. 50 honorarium payment made for somebody's professional services / a fee paid for a nominally free service. 51 imposter person who pretends to be somebody else in order to trick people. 7. 52 insolvent person not having enough to pay what he owes. 7. 53 itinerary plan of a journey, including the route and the places that you visit. 54 monarchy system of government by a king / a queen. 7. 55 obituary notice of someone's death, with his life and achievements. 56 ornithology the scientific study of birds. 57 plutocracy government by the richest people of country. 7. 58 polyglot person who knows, uses / writes in more than one language. 7. 59 sinecure job that you are paid for even though it involves little / no work. 7. 60 amnesty, an official statement that allows people who have been put in prison for crimes against the state to go free. 6. 61 aquatic, growing or living in or near water. 6. 62 archaeologic, the study of cultures of the past and of periods of history by examining the remains of buildings and objects found in the ground. 6. 63 biography, the story of person's life written by somebody else. 6. 64 cynic, someone who is critical of the motives of others. 6. 65 immigrants, a person who leaves his country to live in another. 6. 66 extemporaneous, spoken / done without any previous thought / preparation. 6. 67 fanatic, extremely enthusiastic about one's belief. 6. 68 hermit, person who, usually for religious reasons, lives a very simple life alone and does not meet / talk to other people. 6. 69 kleptomania, mental illness in which somebody has a strong desire, which they cannot control, to steal things. 6. 70 notorious, well known for being bad. 6. 71 numismatist, person who collects or studies coins or medals. 6. 72 ode, poem that speaks to a person / thing / celebrates a special event. 6. 73 pedant, person who pays more attention to formal rules and book learning than they merit. 6. 74 philology, the scientific study of the development of language or of a particular language. 6. 75 red tapeism, the practice of requiring excessive paperwork and tedious procedures before official action can be considered / completed. 6. 76 reticent, unwilling to tell people about things, one who speaks less. 6. 77 sacrilege, an act of treating holy thing or place without respect. 6. 78 sonnet, poem that has 14 lines, each containing 10 syllables, and a fixed pattern of rhymes.
79 theocracy, government of country by religious leaders. 6. 80 xenophobia, fear of people from other countries. 6. 81 abolish, formally put an end to system, practice, or institution. 5. 82 accomplice, person who helps another to commit a crime / to do something wrong. 5. 83 agenda, list of items to be discussed at a meeting. 5. Place where bees are kept. 5. 85 aquarium, glass tank where fish and water plants are kept. 5. 86 atheism, the belief that God does not exist. 5. 87 autocracy, system of government of a country in which one person has complete power. 5. 88 aviary, place where birds are kept. 5. 89 ballad, song / poem that tells a story. 5. 90 bibliography, list of books or articles about a particular subject or by a particular author. 5. 91 bigot, person who has very strong, unreasonable beliefs or opinions about race, religion / politics and who will not listen to / accept the opinions of anyone who disagrees. 92 bohemian, person who is involved with the arts, who lives in a very informal way without following accepted rules of behavior. 5. 93 brittle, hard but easily broken. 5. 94 chauffeur, person whose job is to drive a car, especially for somebody rich / important. 95 cosmopolitan, person who has the experience of many different parts of the world. 5. 96 democracy, country in which all the people of the country can vote to elect their representatives. 97 dictatorship, form of government by a ruler who has complete power over a country, especially one who has gained it using military force. 5. 98 eccentric, person who is considered by other people to be strange / unusual. 5. 99 entomology, the scientific study of insects. 5. 100 epicure, person who enjoys food and drink of high quality and knows a lot about it. 5. 101 ethnology, the scientific study and comparison of human races. 5. 102 exonerate, to officially state that somebody is not responsible for something that he has been blamed for. 5. 103 extravagant, spending lot of more money / using a lot more of something that you can afford or than is necessary. 5. 104 fauna, all the animals living in an area or in particular period of history. 5. 105 fratricide, the crime of killing your brother / sister. 5. 106 glutton, person who eats too much. 5. 107 hypochondriac, worried all the time about your health and believing that you are ill / sick when there is nothing wrong with you. 5. 108 hypocrite, person who pretends to have moral standards / opinions that they do not actually have. 5. 109 immigrant, person who comes to a country where they were not born in order to settle there. 5. 110 inaudible, that you cannot hear. 5. 111 incredible, impossible / difficult to believe 5. 112 indefatigable, never giving up or getting tired of doing something 5. 113 indigenous, originating or occurring naturally in the place or country where found / native 5. 114 ineffable, too great / beautiful to describe in words 5. 115 intestate, having made no legal will 5. 116 lexicographer, person who writes and edits dictionaries 5. 117 manuscript, copy of a book, piece of music, etc. before it has been printed 5. 118 martyr, person who suffers very much or is killed because of his religious / political beliefs 5. 119 matricide, the killing of one's mother 5. 120 mortuary, place, room / building in which dead bodies are kept before they are buried / cremated 5. 121 narcissist, person who admires himself / herself too much, especially his appearance 5. 122 omnivorous, eating all types of food, plants and meat 5. 123 opaque, not clear enough to see through / allow light through 5. 124 pacifist, person who believes that war and violence are always wrong 5. 125 parable, short story that teaches a spiritual lesson, especially one of those told by Jesus as recorded in the Bible 5. 126 Philistine, person who does not like / understand art, literature, music, etc. 5. 127 plagiarism, an act of copying another person's ideas, words or work and pretend that they are your own 5. 128 polygamy, the custom of having more than one wife at the same time 5. 129 psychology, the scientific study of the mind and how it influences behavior 5. 130 recluse, person who lives alone and likes to avoid other people 5. 131 regicide, the crime of killing king / queen 5. 132 sanatorium, place like a hospital where patients who have a lasting illness / who are getting better after an illness are treated. 133 secular, living among ordinary people rather than in a religious community / government not connected with religious or spiritual matters. 134 soliloquy, speech in a play in which a character, who is alone on the stage, speaks his / her thoughts 5. 135 suicide, the act of killing yourself deliberately 5. 136 translucent, allowing light to pass through but not transparent 5. 137 transparent, allowing you to see through it, glass etc. 5. 138 wreath, an arrangement of flowers and leaves, in circle, placed on graves, worn on heads / hung on doors as Christmas decoration 5. 139 abdicate, to give up the position of being king / queen 4. 140 affable, pleasant, friendly and easy to talk to 4. 141 ambidextrous, able to use both the hands equally well 4. 142 amphibians, any animal that can live both on land and in water / a cold-blooded vertebrate, typically living on land but breeding in water 4. 143 anarchist, person who believes that laws and governments are not necessary 4. 144 apathy, the feeling of not being interested in or enthusiastic 4. 145 archipelago, large body of water with many islands 4. 146 asylum, protection that government gives to people who have left their own country, because they were in danger for political reasons. / a hospital where people who were mentally ill could be cared for, often for a long time. 147 audible, that can be heard clearly. 148 authentic, made or done in the traditional or original way 4. 149 autobiography, biography of yourself 4. 150 blasphemy, behavior / language that insults / shows lack of respect for God / religion 4. 151 carnivore, eats the flesh of other animals, animal 4. 152 catalog, complete list of items, for example, of things that people can look at / buy. 153 circumlocution, using more words than are necessary instead of speaking or writing in a clear / direct way 4. 154 congregation, group of people who are gathered together in a church to worship God 4. 155 cordial, warm and sincere 4. 156 credulous, ready to believe things and therefore easy to trick 4. 157 curator, person whose job is to be in charge of the objects or words of art in a museum or art gallery, etc. 158 demagogue, political leader who tries to win support by using arguments based on emotion rather than reason 4. 159 Dermatology, the scientific study of skin diseases. 4. 160 Dilettante, person who does or studies something, but is not serious about it and does not have much knowledge, a dabbler in the art and literature. 4. 161 Ecology, the study of the relation of plants and living creatures to each other and to their environment. 4. 162 Edible, fit / suitable to be eaten. 4. 163 Emissary, person who is sent to deliver an official message from one country to another or to perform a special task. 4. 164 Empathy, the ability to understand another person's feelings, experience, etc. 4. 165 Endemic, regularly found in particular place or among a particular group of people and difficult to get rid of / a disease that is prevalent in a particular area. 4. 166 Ephemeral, lasting / used for only short period of time. 4. 167 Epigraph, an engraved inscription. 4. 168 Epitome, person or thing that is a perfect example of a particular quality or type. 4. 169 Eternal, continuing forever. 4. 170 Exemplary, severe punishment used as warning to others / providing a good example for people to copy. 171 Expatriate, person living in a country that is not his own. 4. 172 Fidelity, loyalty, accuracy. 4. 173 Fugitive, person who has escaped / is running away from somewhere and is trying to avoid being caught. 4. 174 Geography, the scientific study of the Earth's surface, physical features, divisions, products, population, etc. 4. 175 Gregarious, liking to be with other people / living in groups, animals. 176 Hallucination, the fact of seeing / hearing something that is not really there. 4. 177 Hedonist, person who believes that pleasure is the most important thing in life. 4. 178 Herbivorous, animals that feed on plants. 4. 179 Heresy, belief or an opinion that is against the principle of a particular religion. 4. 180 Honorary, given as an honor. 4. 181 Horticulture, the study / practice of growing flowers, fruits and vegetables. 4. 182 Hydrophobia, extreme fear of water. 4. 183 Incentive, something that encourages you to do something. 4. 184 Infanticide, the crime of killing baby. 4. 185 Itinerant, traveling from place to place, especially to find work. 4. 186 Juxtapose, place side by side. 4. 187 Maiden, being the first of its kind, speech, journey by a plane / ship, etc. 4. 188 Masochist, someone who obtains pleasure from receiving punishment. 189 Megalomania, mental illness / condition in which somebody has an exaggerated belief in their own importance / power. 4. 190 Misogynist, person who hates marriage. 4. 191 Neutral, not supporting / helping either side in disagreement, competition, etc. 192 Novice, person who is new and has little experience in a skill, job or situation. 4. 193 Obscure, not clearly understood or expressed. 4. 194 Omniscient, knowing everything. 4. 195 Palpable, able to be touched or felt. 4. 196 Parricide, the crime of killing your father, mother or close relative. 4. 197 Patrimony, property that is given to somebody when his father dies. 4. 198 Perseverance, the quality of continuing to try to achieve particular aim despite difficulties. 4. 199 Pessimist, person who always expects bad things to happen or something not to be successful. 4. 200 Philanderer, man who has sexual relationships with many different women. 4. 201 Pelagionist, a person who esteems woman as the higher type of humanity. 4. 202 Philosophy, the study of the nature and meaning of the universe and of the human life. 4. 203 Physiology, the study of the normal functions of living things. 4. 204 Polyandry, the custom of having more than one husband at the same time. 4. 205 Prologue, speech, etc. at the beginning of a play, book, or film that introduces it. 4. 206 Pseudophology, the study of how people vote in elections. 207 Pseudonym, fictitious name used instead of his real names. 4. 208 Scullery, small room next to the kitchen in an old house, originally used for washing dishes, etc. 4. 209 Sociology, the study and classification of human societies. 210 Spinster, an old unmarried woman. 4. 211 Stoicism, the fact of not explaining/showing what you are feeling when you are suffering. 212 Theist, one who believes in the existence of God. 4. 213 Universal, done by or involving all the people in the world or in a particular group. 4. 214 Versatile, able to do many things. 4. 215 Zoology, the branch of biology that studies animals. 4. 216 Abduct, to take somebody away illegally, especially using force. 3. 217 Absolute, one who is perfect/complete/free from imperfection. 3. 218 Acquit, to decide and state officially in court that somebody is not guilty of a crime. 3. 219 Acrophobia, fear of great heights. 3. 220 Actuary, someone versed in the collection and interpretation of numerical data, especially someone who uses statistics to calculate insurance premiums. 3. 221 Addict, person who is very interested in something and spends a lot of his free time in it / a person who is unable to stop taking harmful drugs. 3. 222 Adolescent, in the process of developing from child into an adult. 3. 223 Aerial, growing, existing in air. 3. 224 Agnostic, person who doubts truth of religion. 3. 225 Alimony, the money that court orders somebody to pay regularly to his former wife/husband when the marriage is ended. 3. 226 Allegory, story, play, picture, etc., in which each character/event is a symbol representing an idea/a quality, such as truth, evil, death, etc. 3. 227 Ambiguous, that can be understood in more than one way / not clearly defined or stated. 3. 228 Ambivert, person who is both an introvert and an extrovert. 3. 229 Amoral, not following any moral rules and not caring about right/wrong. 3. 230 Anecdote, short, interesting or amusing story about a real person or an event.
231 Anonymous, with name that is not known, that is not made public. 3. 232 Antidote, substance that controls the effects of poison, disease. 3. 233 Antiseptic, substance that helps to prevent infection in wounds by killing bacteria. 3. 234 Apathetic, showing or feeling no interest, enthusiasm, or concern. 3. 235 Apprentice, person who works for an expert to learn a trade. 3. 236 Arbitrator, person who is chosen to settle a disagreement. 3. 237 Archaeologist, person who studies cultures of the past and of periods of history by examining the remains of buildings and objects found in the ground. 3. 238 Articulate, good at expressing ideas, feelings clearly in words, speech. 239 Artist, person who creates works of art, paintings, drawings. 3. 240 Avarice, extreme desire for wealth. 3. 241 Barometer, an instrument for measuring air pressure to show when the weather will change. 3. 242 Beneficiary, person who gains as a result of something. 3. 243 Bibliographer, someone trained in compiling books, articles about a particular subject. 3. 244 Bibliophile, person who loves or collects books. 3. 245 Bouquet, bunch of flowers arranged in an attractive way so that it can be carried in a ceremony, presented as a gift. 3. 246 Bovine, connected with cows. 3. 247 Calligrapher, someone skilled in penmanship. Calligraphy, beautiful writing done with a special pen brush. 3. 248 Callous, not caring about other people's feelings or suffering. 3. 249 Cellar, an underground room often used for storing things, wine, salt, etc. 3. 250 Centenarian, person who is 100 years old or more. 251 Choreography, the act of designing and arranging the steps. 3. 252 Colleague, person that one work with at the same place, in a profession or a business. 3. 253 Communist, person who believes in or supports living together and sharing possessions and responsibilities. 3. 254 Compromise, an agreement made between two people or groups. 3. 255 conservative, holding to traditional attitudes and values and cautious about change or innovation, a person who is opposed to great sudden social change. 256 criminal, connected with crime. 3. 257 culpable, responsible, and deserving blame for having done something wrong. 3. 258 cynosure, center of attraction. 3. 259 derelict, person without a home, a job or property. 3. 260 dialogue, conversations in look, play or film, movie. 3. 261 dipsomania, an intense persistent desire to drink alcoholic beverages to excess. 3. 262 dirge, psalm sung in the past at a funeral or for a dead person. 3. 263 effaced, remove completely from recognition, memory, remove by or as if by rubbing, erasing. 3. 264 egotist, person who is excessively conceited or absorbed in themselves. 3. 265 eligible, person who is able to do something because he has the right qualifications, is the right age, etc. 3. 266 emancipation, freeing someone from the control of another. 3. 267 embezzlement, the act of stealing money that you are responsible for or that belongs to your employer, misappropriation of money. 3. 268 emeritus, one who is honorably discharged from service. 3. 269 ennui, state of mental weariness from lack of occupation. 3. 270 entomologist, zoologist, person who studies insects. 3. 271 envious, feeling of discontented aroused by someone else's possessions or qualities. 3. 272 environments, the conditions that affect the behavior and development of somebody, something. 3. 273 epidemic, large number of cases of a particular disease happening at the same time in a particular community. 3. 274 epigram, a short poem, phrase that expresses an idea in a clever, amusing way. 3. 275 eulogy, speech, piece of writing praising own body, something very much. 3. 276 euphemism, an indirect word phrase that people often use to refer to something embarrassing or unpleasant. 277 expose, to make known to the public information that was previously known only to a few people or that was meant to be kept a secret. 278 fable, a traditional short story that teaches a moral lesson. Animals. 279 fantasy, a pleasant situation that you imagine but that is unlikely to happen. 280 fascist, meaning a person who supports an extreme political system or attitude which is in favor of strong central government and which does not allow any opposition. 3. 281 fatal, causing or ending in death. 3. 282 feline, connected with an animal of the cat family. 283 flexible, able to change to suit new conditions, situations. 3. 284 flora, the plants of particular area, type of environment or period of time. 3. 285 genealogy, the study of family history, including the study of who the ancestors of a particular person were. 286 geology, the study of earth, including the origin and history of the rocks and soil of which the earth is made. 3. 287 germicide, substance which destroys bacteria, etc. 3. 288 herbivore, eats only plants, animal. 289 heretic, a person who holds unorthodox opinions. 3. 290 hijack, to use violence or threats to take control of a vehicle in order to force it to travel to a different place or to demand something from a government. 3. 290 one homage, something that is said, done to show respect for somebody. 3. 292 homogeneous, all things or people of the same or similar kind or nature. 3. 293 horizon, the furthest you can see, where the sky seems to meet the land, the sea. 3. 294 humanitarian, concerned with reducing suffering and improving the conditions that people live in. 3. 295 hymn a song of praise to God or to a saint or to a nation. 3. 296 idiosyncrasy person's particular way of behaving, thinking, etc., especially when it is unusual. 3. 297 illicit not allowed by law. 3. 298 illiterate not knowing how to read, write. 3. 299 implorer person who asks somebody to do something because he needs it very much. 3. 300 impregnable strong and impossible to defeat change. 3. 301 inaccessible difficult, impossible to reach, to get. 3. 302 indelible, that cannot be removed, erased. 3. 303 indict accused formally of a crime. 3. 304 ineligible, not having necessary qualifications to do something. 305 inexorable, that cannot be stopped or changed. 3. 306 interment, the act of burying dead person. 3. 307 internment, the act of confining someone in prison. 3. 308 interregnum, period of time during which a country, an organization, etc., does not have a leader and is waiting for a new one. 3. 309 judge person in a court who has the authority to decide how criminals should be punished or to make legal decisions. 3. 310 knell the sound of bell sung slowly to announce a death, a funeral, the end of something. 311 landscape everything you can see when you look across a large area of land. 3. 312 lapidist skilled worker who cuts and engraves precious stones. 3. 313 laxative, a medicine, food, drink that makes somebody empty their bowels easily. 3. 314 lease legal agreement that allows you to use a building piece of equipment, some land for a period of time, usually in return for rent. 3. 3 legend, a story from ancient times about people and events that may not be true. 316 loquacious one, who talks lot. 3. 317 maiden speech, the first speech made by person. 3. 318 memorandum proposal, report on a particular subject for a person, an organization, a committee, etc. 3. 319 mint place, where money is coined by authority of the government. 3. 320 momentous, very important or serious. 3. 321 monologue, long speech by one person during a conversation that stops other people from speaking or expressing an opinion. 3. 322 monotheism, the belief that there is only one God. 3. 323 mortal subject to death. 3. 324 mutiny, the act of refusing to obey the orders of somebody in authority, especially by soldiers, sailors. 3. 325 mystic person who tries to become united with God through prayer and meditation, and so understand important things that are beyond normal human understanding. 3. 326 neophyte person who has recently started an activity. 3. 327 nymphomania, the behavior of a woman who has or wants to have sex very often. 3. 328 obeisance, the act of obeying. 329 octagon flat shape with 8 straight sides and 8 angles. 3. 330 omnipotent, having total power, able to do anything. 3. 331 omnipresent, present everywhere. 3. 332 oncology, study and treatment of tumors. 333 optician person whose job is to examine people's eyes and to recommend and sell glasses. 3. 334 opulent, rich and superior in quality. 3. 335 oration, formal speech made on a public occasion, especially as part of a ceremony. 3. 336 orator person who is good at public speaking, who makes formal speeches. 3. 337 ornithologist person who studies birds. 3. 338 orphan child whose parents are dead. 3. 339 pediatrics, branch of medicine concerned with children and their diseases. 3. 340 pandemonium situation in which there is a lot of noise, activity, and confusion because people are angry, frightened. 340 one pantheism, the belief that God is present in all natural things. 3 partisan and ardent and enthusiastic supporter of some person, activity. 343 pedestrian person walking and not traveling in a vehicle. 3 peninsula, a large mass of land projecting into a body of water. 345 philosopher person who thinks deeply about things. 346 pilferage, the act of stealing small amounts or small articles. 347 pioneer person who is the first to study and develop a particular area of knowledge, culture, etc., that other people then continue to develop. 348 plagiarist, someone who uses another person's words, ideas as if they were his own. 349 polygon, flat shape with at least 3 straight sides and 3 angles, and usually 5 or more. 350 polytheist, one who believes in plurality of gods. 351 prodigy, an unusually gifted, intelligent young person. 352 prophet person sent by God to teach the people and give them messages from God. 353 proselyte person who has been converted to another religious or political belief. 354 protocol system of fixed rules and formal behavior used at official meetings. 355 pun, the clever or humorous use of word that has more than one meaning, or of words that have different meanings but sound the same. 356 pyromania, an obsessive desire to set fire to things. 357 ransom money that is paid to kidnappers. 358 rapacious, greedy for money. 359 refugee person who has been forced to leave his country, home, because there is a war or for political, religious, or social reasons. 360 retaliate, return the same sort of attack, give tit for tat. 361 retreat, to move away from place, to back off. 363 ridicule, unkind remarks that make fun of somebody, something, or make him, it looks silly. 364 ritual, series of actions that are always performed in the same way, especially as part of a religious ceremony. 365 sadist person who gets pleasure from hurting other people. 366 sanctity, the state of being very important and worth protecting. 3 sanguine, optimistic in an apparently difficult situation. 368 satire, way of criticizing a person, an idea, or an institution in which you use humor to show its faults, weaknesses. 369 skeptic, someone who habitually doubts accepted beliefs. 370 skepticism, an attitude of doubting that claims statements that are true and that something will happen. 371 schedule, plan that lists all the work that you have to do and when you must do each thing. 372 scholar person who knows all about a particular subject because he has studied it in detail. 373 seer person who claims that he can see what is going to happen in the future. 374 seismology, the scientific study of earthquakes. 375 septuagenarian person between the ages of 70 and 79. 376 socialist person who believes in or supports the belief that everyone has an equal right to a share of a country's wealth and that the government should own and control the main industries. 377 sojourn, temporary stay as a guest. 378 soporific drug, making you want to go to sleep. 379 sororicide, the murder of one's sister. 380 suffrage, the right to vote in political elections. 381 summary, a brief account of a subject. 382 superstition, the belief that particular events happen in a way that cannot be explained by reason, science. 180 sycophant, person who praises important or powerful people too much and in a way that is not sincere, especially in order to get something from them. 384 synagogue building where the Jews meet for religious worship and teaching. 3. 385 taxidermy, the art of stuffing dead animals, birds and fish with a special material so that they may look like living ones and can be displayed. 3. 386 teetotaler person who does not drink alcohol. 3. 387 temporal connected with, limited by time. 3. 388 tenacious sticking together. 389 terrestrial living on the land on the ground, rather than in water on trees, in the air. 3. 390 terrorist person who uses violent action in order to achieve political aims or to force a government to act. And 91 theism, belief in the existence of God. 3. 392 theology, the study of religion and beliefs. 3. 393 topology, the way the parts of something are arranged and related. 3. 3 traitor, a person who works against his country. 3. 395 transitory, continuing for only short time. 396 trivial, not important or serious, not worth considering. 3. 397 truant child who stays away from school without permission. 3. 398 truism statement that is clearly true and does not add anything interesting or important to a discussion. 3. 399 usurer, person who lends money to people at unfairly high rates of interest. 3. 400 vandal, person who deliberately destroys, damages public property. 3. 401 venerable, impressive by reason of age, profoundly honored. 3. 402 veracious, habitually speaking the truth, precisely accurate. 3. 403 verbatim, exactly as spoken, written, word for word. 3. 404 verbose, using, containing more words than are needed. 3. 405 veteran, person who has a lot of experience in a particular area, activity. 3. Virtuoso, someone who is dazzlingly skilled in any field. A musician who is a master of technique and artistry, a person highly skilled in music. 3. 407 volley, lot of bullets, stones, arrows, etc. that are fired, thrown at the same time. 3. 408 vulnerable, weak, and easily hurt physically, emotionally. 409 zealot, person who is fanatical and uncompromising in pursuit of their religious, political, or other ideals. 3. 410 abandoned to leave. 2. 411 abattoir, place where animals are slaughtered for consumption as food. 2. 412 aberration, fact, an action or a way of behaving that is not usual, a disorder in one's mental state. 2. 413 abridgment, shortened version of a written work. 2. 414 absconders, fugitive who runs away and hides. 2. Avoid arrest, prosecution. 2. 415 abstain, to choose not to use, vote, either in favor of, against something. 2. 416 abstruse, difficult to comprehend, obscure. 2. 417 accolade, praise, an award for an achievement that people admire. 418 accord, sympathetic, compatibility. 2. 419 accountant, a person whose profession is to keep accounts. 2. 420 acquittal, an official decision in court, that person is not guilty of a crime. 2. Acrobat, an entertainer who performs difficult acts, such as balancing on high ropes at a circus, an athlete who performs acts that need skill, agility, and coordination. 2. 422 acronym, word formed from the first letters of the words that make up the name of something. 2. 423 activist, advocating or engaged in activism. 2. 424 acumen, the ability to make good judgments and take quick decisions. 2. 425 adept, person who is good at doing something that is quite difficult. 2. 426 adhere, to stick firmly. 2. 427 adroit, quick, or skillful, or adept in action or thought. 2. 2 adventitious, associated by chance and not an integral part. 429 aesthetic, concerned with beauty or the appreciation of beauty. 2. 430 aggressive, angry, and behaving in threatening way. 431 agitation, worry, and anxiety that you show by behaving in a nervous way. 2. 432 Agronomy, the application of soil and plant sciences to land management and crop production. 2. 433 Alliteration, the use of the same letter, sound at the beginning of words that are close together. 2. Almanac book is published every year giving information for that year about a particular subject, activity. 2. 435 Almighty, having complete power. 2. 436 Ambivalent, having or showing both good and bad feelings. 2. 437 Amity, a cordial disposition. 2. 438 Amorphous, having no definite form or distinct shape. 2. 439 Anachronism, person, a custom or an idea that seems old-fashioned and does not belong to the present. 440 Animism, the belief that plants, objects, and natural things each have a living soul. 2. 441 Anniversary, the date on which an event happened in some previous year. 2. Anthology, collection of poems, stories, etc. that have been written by different people and published together in a book, a collection of poems. 2. 443 Anthropoid, resembling human being in form. 2. 444 Anthropologist, person who studies about the human race, its origin, developments, customs, and beliefs. 2. 445 Antonyms, words of opposite meanings. 2. 446 Apostasy, the state of having rejected your religious beliefs or your political party or a cause. 2. 447 Apostate, one who abandons long-held religious or political convictions. 2. 448 Apostle, person who strongly believes in a policy or an idea and tries to make other people believe in it. 2. 449 Appraisal, judgment of the value, performance, nature of somebody. 2. 450 Approbation, approval. 451 Aquaphobia, an extreme fear of drowning. 2. 452 Archer, a person who is expert in the use of a bow and arrow. 2. 453 Armory, a place where arms are kept. 2. 454 Arsonist, criminal who illegally sets fire to property. 2. 455 Arteries, muscular walled tubes forming part of the circulation system by which blood, mainly that which has been oxygenated, is conveyed. 2. 456 Artisan, person who does skilled work, making things with his hands. 2. 457 Asperity, roughness, harshness, ill temper, irritability. 2. 458 Assigned, to give somebody something that he can use, or some work or responsibility. 2. Association, an official group of people who have joined together for a particular purpose. 2. 460 Assurance, positive declaration, intended to give confidence. 2. 461 Asunder, widely separated, especially in space. 2. 462 Attempt, an act of trying to do something difficult, often with no success. 2. 463 Auditor, qualified accountant who inspects the accounting records and practices of a business, other organization. 2. 464 Autocrat, ruler who has complete power. 2. 465 Autopsy, an official examination of dead body by a doctor in order to discover the cause of death. 2. 466 Avaricious, having an extreme desire for wealth. 2. 467 Aversion, strong feeling of not liking somebody, something. 2. 468 Axiom, rule, principle that most people believe to be true. 2. Bachelor, a man who remains unmarried. 2. 470 Bald, having little or no hair on the head. 471 Bale, a large bundle bound for storage or transport. 2. 472 Banker, person who owns a bank or has an important job at a bank. 2. 400 Syrinx, large building, group of buildings for soldiers to live in. 2. 474 Bashful, disposed to avoid notice. 2. 475 Beast, large dangerous animal, a person who is cruel and whose behavior is uncontrolled. 2. 476 Beguile, to trick somebody into doing something by being nice to them. 2. 477 Bellicose, person who is fond of fighting. 2. 478 Benefactor, person who gives money, other help to a person or an organization, school, charity. 479 Bevy, large group of people, things of the same kind, girls, young women. 2. 480 bigamy, the crime of marrying somebody when you are still legally married to somebody else. 2. 481 bilingual, able to speak 2 languages equally well. Written in 2 languages too. 482 biopsy, the removal of tissue from the body of somebody who is ill and its examination in order to find out more about the disease. 2. 483 bizarre, very strange, or unusual too. 484 brunette, white, skinned woman with dark brown hair. 2. 485 bulwark, a fence-like structure around a deck, usually plural. 2. 486 burglar, person who enters a building illegally in order to steal. 2. Baffin, cacophony, loud, confusing, disagreeable sounds. 2. 488 camouflage, the disguising of military personnel, equipment, and installations by painting or covering them to make them blend in with their surroundings. 2. 489 canine, connected with dogs. 490 capitalist, person who supports the fact that a country's businesses and industry are controlled and run by private owners rather than by the government. 2. 491 captor, person who captures a person, an animal, and keeps it as a prisoner. 492 caravan, covered vehicle, used for living by gypsies. 2. 493 caricature, funny drawing, picture of somebody that exaggerates some of his features. 2. 494 cartographer, person who draws or makes maps. 2. 495 cartoon, an amusing drawing about politics, events in the news. 2. Cavalier, courtly gentleman, especially one acting as a lady's escort. 2. Cavalry, the part of the army that fought on horses in the past, the part of the modern army that uses armored vehicles. 2. 498 celestial, of the sky, heaven. 2. 499 celibacy, the state of living unmarried. 500 celibate, person who has chosen not to marry.